I think we're live here. It's going to be kind of the preview of our trading show with Denizen and GiveCrack here. I see Denizen has just joined. Once HB joins, uh, he'll have the access to bring people up and down. I'm going to step away for a second, but I'm going to listen to as much as I can here today. Probably have to step in as the middleman to break things down for the people in the chat, because you guys start talking very high level and you probably lose most people. Denizen, so how long did you say you've been trading, by the way?
I've been trading for 5 years.
Wow, that's a long time. You've been in it for a while now. And mostly options?
Almost exclusively options. Yeah, I do. Sometimes I hold shares, kind of like cash. Just so that the money isn't sitting there doing nothing. It's at least appreciating. Sometimes I hold shares because I want to do some complex options trading. So the shares are my leverage, are my collateral, rather.
Or you doing like, what do they call it, like straddling and stuff like that?
Yeah, I tried all that stuff. It's not really for me. I just waiting for everybody to take profit and the bears to dump, and go long at support. It's really simple, and it's just something that works for me. I'm pretty good at doing squeeze trades too, but I just really don't need that. I don't need that risk anymore. I have enough, um, income to where I don't need it. I just don't need to do that. I could see myself doing it once in a while when it becomes like if an opportunity comes across. I'm an opportunistic trader, and I have a lot of different. I tried all the different styles, so mostly I just trade SPY all the time. Long calls at support,
hold on, Dennis.
sell at resistance.
I know what SPY is, but you're gonna have to really probably break it down for some people.
It's ETF, the S&P 500, the largest companies in America.
Liquidity. It has the most liquidity, right?
Yeah. And I usually just do that, but when opportunities come, if it's something I'm experienced with, I will take advantage of it for sure.
There you go. We have about 4 people still. We're waiting on a few more people to make their way over here so they don't miss anything. GiveCrack, what about you? How long have you been? I wouldn't call you. Are you a trader? Would you call yourself a trader or investor?
No, I only do it recently because I'm bored. So most of my money I made from work and just like investing. So I did Apple. I told the story, right? I told my parents to buy Apple and some other stocks, and Apple was the big winner of those picks, and that's what paid off all my college and everything else, and then paid some of their house.
So when did you tell them to buy Apple?
Like back in the .com bust when Steve Jobs came back, when Apple was already busted, because that was the only tech stock that didn't fly up during the .com because it was bankrupt. People were saying in the news. That's why I say don't look at the news. The news was saying like it's going bankrupt, it's going out of business, and like Steve Jobs is coming back. And he wasn't even the permanent CEO at that time. It was Gil Amelio, and he hired back Steve Jobs as a co-CEO, basically advisor. But Steve Jobs was basically like cutthroat and ready to push this guy out, and that's when I got them to go all in on it, because Steve Jobs coming back, that's a big deal. And the next one I did was AMD with Lisa Su, because she replaced the old CEO. We had Elon Musk, because the Tesla before wasn't Elon Musk. It was founded by somebody else. Elon Musk came in. I bought Tesla at near the IPO levels, and that's what it is. I picked CEOs. That's how I traded. That's how I invested. I just looked at the CEO. I was like, this is a good tech CEO. They have good management, good tech knowledge. Very rare to have a CEO that can work both worlds in managing a company and be good in tech. If you're just good at tech but can't manage, or you're good at management can't do tech companies never like have that big run up. And Nvidia is the same thing, right? Like Jensen's, but the problem with Nvidia was it was never cheap, dirt cheap. That's why I never got into it, because I went with the companies that were like shit, like a tech company that just fell off the rock, and the prices were so dirt cheap that the new CEOs coming in turning it around. So I don't know if Intel is going to be one of those. Intel, they brought back their old executive who used to work at the VMware. You remember you were talking about VMware
Yeah,
with
I
the
remember being
Bitcoin? Yeah, so that's who came back. It's Sellinger. So I don't know if he's the guy that will turn around Intel, but maybe Intel is the next play, because it's like it's a shit company. I was interviewed there. Um, it had terrible politics. Politics killed that company. Full of Indians, full of goddamn like everyone scheming to backstab each other. When I came in their interview, they were already openly admitting to me they were trying to fight this other Indian. I was like, what the fuck? I'm gonna go in there with a manager who's just an Indian fighting another Indian. And this is
What were
not
they
how a
fighting
company
over?
should be run. This is not how a company should be run.
But what were they fighting over, Get Crack?
Just their personal pride. I don't know. Caste. I don't know. I don't know that shit.
Yeah. That's one of the things that prompted me to set up a show about that. I think it's going to be very interesting with them in the workforce.
Exactly. I don't know what's gonna happen. These ain't whites. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know, dude. My manager at the company I was last in was white, and I was protecting him from the Indians. I was like out there like MFB, like putting spy cameras everywhere, like watching why this guy was going to the computer late at night trying to sabotage our work. Straight up.
Really?
Straight up. Yeah. If you
In
want
terms
me
of
going
what?
into these details of this crap, I don't know. I don't know if I'm revealing too much of myself now. That's it. This like
Damn. Where is HB? Hopefully HB joins soon. But I guess you guys can go ahead and get started. HB, he'll jump in here. Let me put the link in the chat as well. Oh, Denizen, he just did it. Hopefully HB will get in. I know HB wanted to hear this topic as well. Hey, while we're waiting on HB, give me your biggest loss, Denizen.
$8,000 was Netflix, and it was when COVID hit. So I was making serious money off of Netflix, and then COVID happened right in the middle of a really risky.
What time frame did you lose 8,000?
Oh, in minutes.
Damn.
Yeah. I think a lot of, I mean, that's nothing, right? A lot of investors that didn't like reduce their exposure probably lost like hundreds or at that time, right? During the market drop.
So over a period of time, no, I've lost nearly six figures.
Yeah, that's normal. That's normal, dude.
Normal, yeah, so when the market crashed out after Biden got elected, yeah,
no, that's normal. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, I lost close to six figures, and life was in a squeeze for a while.
Yeah, that's why people have to know, like, you're willing to, like, yeah, there's a risk, but you have to weather the storm. But so that's why people shouldn't overexpose what they can't afford to expose at certain times. And hopefully I'll try to teach people things to avoid that with secondary information. Like that's why I showed you that FINRA data, right? That the big money was already pulling out in November and before COVID and all those places. They knew. And that's not shown in the charts. It's secondary information, which they release 1 month late, sometimes 2 months late. So
I knew too, honestly, but I was being lazy, complacent, and sloppy in those days.
Yeah, I understand.
I made too much money too fast.
Yeah.
Right. And I had to learn that lesson. Also, the other lesson is pay yourself. You pay yourself first. So if I had just merely, taken some of my brokerage assets and turned them into real assets,
Yeah. I get it.
Oops, my mic was muted. Have you ever seen this scene in The Wolf of Wall Street where the guy is basically explaining, don't let the investor get his money out. Always have another investment to keep him in.
Right. And so as the other person, as being the person on the opposite side of that trade, always take your money out. Always take your money out. You can always put more back in. Or, you know, I mean, if you're the super disciplined type and inflation is high, by all means, get 5%, off your broker, just letting it sit in there. But I'm not the super disciplined type. I'm way more disciplined than almost any person I know. And I am not the super disciplined type. So check yourself before you wreck yourself, right?
Yeah, I think that the bigger point when you're dealing with brokerages is they're always going to have something to sell you to keep your money in with them. And so that is, I think, where the discipline comes is that, hey, man, I want to cash out, send me a check.
Ding,
I don't
ding.
hear about anything else you got for sale here. Send me my check, right?
Yeah. But I think too, though, like, I think a brokerage account is better to keep your money in than a banking account.
Yes.
Yeah, it depends. Usually you get more just leaving it in a brokerage account. Not right now, though. I'm making 5 figures off of interest because inflation and interest rates are so high.
So one thing I'll mention again, I'll repeat again, is that if you live in a high income, a state income tax place, you have to use T-bills to write off a state income if you get interest directly from the government. So if you get 5% from the brokerage from a money market, that doesn't work. So any boomer out there, buy T-bills. Don't use a money market. So if you're a boomer, use T-bills if you're living in California and New York and all the shitholes.
Tell them what a T-bill is, GiveCrack.
The T-bill is like up to a 1-year bond. So essentially, it's 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, 6 month, 17 weeks, and 1 year. Yeah. And
what's the interest like on one of those?
5.5.
Oh, nice.
So usually the brokerage will give you 5.0, 4.9, 5.2, and they're taking away your 0.3 or whatever, 0.5, and that's how they make their money off of that. So they're ripping you off that way too. So
yeah, I get almost 5% from my
so that's why that 0.5 is a big deal for them, because that's a lot of money when you have a lot of boomers and idiots that don't know T-bills and shit like that. And you get an extra benefit when you live in a blue state. So, but the problem with that is that you have to wait till maturity to get it out. You're not liquid.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of having a money market.
I like it, and that's why I don't go that route, because I'm at a point right now.
Different audience, different people. I have to give Be Brave would be interested in it. You're not. Ryan would be like, you're
well,
not.
Here's why though, right? It makes more sense for a person in a different situation. Right now, I am actively risking, and I have skills and expertise. So liquidity for me is more valuable than higher interest rates, because I'm better with the money. Not everybody is in that situation. And also I have to keep my eye on it. It's like a job. So if you rather just let it sit there and mature, right now T-bills make more sense.
Hey, you guys want to go ahead and get into the trading stock talk? I mean, you're kind of into it now, but I'm gonna step off and let you guys run with it. But try to keep it in layman's terms, man. Keep the audience in mind.
That's definitely what I'm here
HBO,
for.
Keep us in check.
I'm definitely here
can
for
you show us a chart of what you're trading right now? Anything without information, like that would be the best thing. Yeah,
I can do a chart probably. I'll just make a separate window. So give me a few minutes.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, John, can you drop the link in the chat real quick too? There we go.
Yeah, I just dropped it. I'm gonna pin it. if I can.
Let's see. Yeah. You gotta. I think you gotta.
HB, you can't pin things. You can't pin things.
No,
HB.
No, you gotta do that. You gotta pin things on YouTube.
YouTube. So you don't have access to YouTube. Okay.
Right. I have access to the StreamYard, so I can let everybody on and off and everything. Gotcha. But yeah. So that's perfect. So yeah, I'll make sure I keep it down to layman's terms because you guys are, you're using a lot of, and that's the thing too about this. It's like anything that you get into, there's gonna be a whole new language that, there's a language barrier in everything.
There is. That's why I try to keep it so simple with the candles. It's like if you can trade with just candles, man, that is like 99% to me. And once we get to that point, you can go on to Denizen or CKJ3 with futures, options, everything. And it's just like, I just want to teach strategy. I just want to be like, can you read a chart? Can you just read a damn chart? And then once you get there, you're like, okay, let's go on to like, how can you do that in day trading? How can you do that swing trading? How can you do it investing? That's it, man.
Let me ask you guys this. So let's say somebody's got $500 right now, and I want both perspectives, Denizen and GiveCrack's perspective. You got $500 right now. What would you suggest somebody do with that $500 to invest? Let me start with GiveCrack.
Oh man,
$500.
$500, buy a shit coin because that ain't nothing. That's
now what's a shit coin?
Like wait for the time, like we're in the cycle where crypto is gonna fly, which is gonna come soon around the corner.
Yeah.
And just buy a doji or some Ashi Shinu Abi or whatever the fuck that dog coin was, and try to make 1,000, 100,000x or something.
Shinu, Ibu, or whatever.
Yeah,
Shibu.
I mean that's why people are in the crypto. You see, they don't have money. Get a job, bro. It's like you $500 in your pocket.
Don't be poor. That's his advice. Yeah, stop being poor.
You have to have a minimum amount. Hey, Denizen. So when you do options, what would you recommend the minimum brokerage account should be funded? How much? 500 ain't gonna cut it.
Recommend? I would say if you're a poor person, and when I mean a poor person, like. I remember Thanksgivings where my dad and I were looking through couch cushions for change so we could go get Kraft macaroni and cheese. 10K minimum.
Damn, 10K still?
Yeah, if you're a poor person. But now here's the thing. I can do something with 500. I changed a $300. I took the stimulus money Joe Biden was handing out.
Yeah.
And turn that into a 6-figure account in less than a year.
See, that's why we need Denizen here, because he's into the degen part where like this is possible. Maybe 500 could be possible. But
yeah, right now the S&P just pulled back like 75 points yesterday. So if you have $500, get it into your brokerage account right now. And go long. Buy calls. This is not financial advice. Buy calls. Around the all-time high, which was 570, and then wait till it to get 568 and sell your calls, and you probably could double your money.
But Denizen, that person has to be very.
Can you pull up the
right?
Can you pull up the S&P chart?
And GiveCrack, while someone's pulling up that chart, GiveCrack, can you explain what you mean when you say degens? Because not a lot of people mean
because people are taking high beta risk. That means you are trying to trade on a very volatile instrument. Okay, that means we're not talking about 1%, 0.5%. We are talking about the S&P 500 with options. That means Denizen is doing way more than that, right? So that means every point that the S&P moves, that's like 100,000 fold. If you do futures, if you do options, so you're taking a big risk. You could lose it all if you get.
Oh yeah, that you can't. If you're putting $500 into an account, you have to be prepared to lose it all. It's not enough money.
Correct.
So this is the definition of beta, because you're going to hear him talk about that a bit. So it's better we get these things out of the way so you don't come in confused. But beta is a concept that measures the expected move in a stock relative to movements in the overall market.
Right.
So it's like a coefficient. A beta greater than 1 suggests that the stock is more volatile. A beta less than 1 suggests this stock is less volatile. So something like a utility stock would have a low beta.
Right. Well, unless you're trading like I'm trading Hawaiian Electric. So that ain't low volatility. Let's put it that way.
Right. So yeah, but typically a utility company, your Con Edison or whatever your power company is going to have a low beta, probably below 1. Companies like Nvidia, Tesla, above 1. The higher the beta, the more the stock moves. Is that correct? Get correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Denizen, that's correct, right?
Yes. And this is what I was talking about earlier with squeezes. So when you're at support, the potential for volatility starts to grow. So after a price fall, the volatility collapses. This is going to make the premium on your options cheaper. I've made money on calls when the price has gone down because I got such a good price on the calls that the volatility was enough to increase the premium. Just the potential for the price to go up made me money as the price was going down.
So this is why I don't do options, because this is like 4D, 5D level thinking. Because you can make money in options even when you're wrong, because the volatility is going up, and you're so that's why the Greeks are so important in options. I don't play that game because I'm lazy. I'm like, dude, I can't even pass Porsche's like Pythagorean theorem test.
There's lazy options trading too, though.
I'm not doing any more math. I'm doing no more math. I've done. I quit.
There's lazy options trading too, though. Think about it.
Yeah,
there are the fundamentals, right?
Yeah, there are lazy
people. So when it's a sure thing that the price is going to go up over time, you can buy options contracts that go 2-3 years out, and so there's no thinking involved. The only difference is that instead of your shares getting 1x, your options get 100x per share.
Let me ask you this, Denizen. If you're long-term investing, GiveCrack, whoever want to chime in, and you have $500 that you want to put in the market, you have no better place to put it. Let's say you want to put it in the market, and you had a long-term perspective. Let's say you wanted to bet on, I don't know, Pfizer,
Nvidia,
whatever. It doesn't matter the stock. That's generic to the.
Okay, go ahead. I'm saying that's the answer, though. Right. Hashtag not financial advice.
Right, you get a very, very.
Hey, bro, forget Nvidia. Toll Brothers is up another 4%. Man, if people just listen to me about home construction, oh, it's boring. It's not tech. It's up another 4%. If you do options on that, man.
So that's the point. If you didn't have a lot of money, but you had a long-term point of view on the stock, would it make sense to buy a long-term option?
Yes, absolutely. Rather than buy the underlying shares. Yeah, because it's just, I mean, that's why Warren Buffett does it. He doesn't buy shares. Are you kidding me? Now he gets his options written from the company itself instead of a broker. He's not poors like us.
Right. He gets more things.
But there's just no reason not to leverage your money. Why not? The shares should be like when you really believe, when you're really investing in a company. That's when you buy shares. It should be like a relationship. If you're doing this to make money, holding shares for me is a hedge.
Yeah, these are hoes. They can't be trusted.
Exactly.
No.
I'm saying though.
Mutual funds.
If you don't want to learn anything about how money works and take responsibility for your own future, sure, keep them. Otherwise, they're a scam. Sell that shit. The bank's screwing you.
Wait. What did Garion ask?
He asked about anybody's opinion on mutual funds.
Oh yeah. It's that's definitely a scam. Yeah. Ice Cube, man, it's none of your business, man. Just if you want to join in on the conversation, join in on the conversation. But don't worry about that.
Yo, HB, try to keep it strictly financial, man. You can throw them off. You throw anybody off.
Yeah. I know. They're trying to throw us off. But So when Denizen, when you're talking about you need at least 10K, um, but you only have 500 to invest, are you saying that you need 10K plus that 500 to trade options?
No. It just with 500, be prepared to lose it all, and you have to leverage almost all of it at once.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're going to have to do much riskier trades. The more money you have to invest, the less risk you have to take.
And
That
that
may
goes back to the
sound
point.
too
Yeah.
good to
No.
be true, but this is the way the system
Yeah.
is built for people with money.
Yeah, that's why yesterday I said 7 figures. You want to get over that 6-figure hump because most people they get stuck at six figures because their strategy is not optimal. Let's put it that way. And they get stuck there because their losses start because they're not risk managing correctly and they're not
Yeah.
their trading is not good enough to overcome and personally, they're probably their lifestyle, they need to keep taking money
Yeah.
out and it's just like they keep getting stuck at that 6 figures. They'll never get to that 7, 8, 9. They're stuck there forever.
Yeah. That's why, John, you know, you were asking me why not take that money out for and buy a truck. And it's that's the issue right there, is because if I can if I could take figures and leverage it up to five, in my mind, I know I could probably leverage that five up to six and that six to seven. So it's kind of it's kind of hard to want to take that risk out or take that money out and put it into something, tangible, when I've already seen some gains.
It depends where your discipline lies. So for
Right.
me, it's easy to leave money in my brokerage account and keep making money. That's easy for me. But then you can get complacent and sloppy, you know.
Right.
Uh, you and ultimately that's their money. It's their money, and they control the system. So you gotta transfer your gains into real assets at some point.
Right. 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 And that's another thing too. It's like, you are playing with real money, and eventually you want to see that money at some point, but it's like, where do you really want to see it at? You want to see it at six figures or seven or eight? You know, some people
And what are your goals? Because
yeah,
growth might not always be your primary goal. And at
right,
some point, what's the growth for? I mean, I have real things that I want. I don't care about making money. That's why I got so started. I got started so late in life, is because I was a slow learner on top of just not caring about money or material possessions, and I still don't. But in this system, peace of mind, security, the
yeah,
permissions they call rights, um, longevity, medical care, whether or not you get treated properly by a doctor. In America, all that stuff depends on how much wealth you have.
yeah. We got
Hey, Dennison, I was going to ask that question. What's the best way to learn about option trading?
It depends on what kind of person you are. I'm a hands-on, do-it-yourself kind of guy, and that's exactly what I did. And I'll tell you, I did it like as cliche as you possibly can. There's a reason why these things are cliche. It's attitude. Instead of buying iced coffee from Jack in the Box on the way to work, I literally just took that $7 and put it into a brokerage account, and then I bought a $6 option with it.
Mm,
Seriously, just to see what would
mm.
happen. Just because the coffee's worthless to me. This $6, I was making $1,000 a
Sugar,
week.
water, Starbucks, sugar, water, Starbucks, all those white women, fucking shit, man. I'm pissed because like a lot of the economy. That's what CT said in one of those streams. Women run the whole economy. They do because
they do,
all
They
the
run the
fucking shit.
comfort. They run the
They
comfort
make you
economy.
buy
That's what they run.
bullshit, and it's like fuck you.
they do. Women,
Yeah,
I
so
think women. I think women spend like 80% of the money in
Yes.
America. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they do.
bought
Women.
a
Actually, no,
I
it
bought
went
a
down a
put.
bit. It's like 70% now. It went down a bit.
I bought a put on Ford because it had been failing all year. So I just bought a Ford put for $6. And I was like, after I finished, right? I was like, I'm the greatest trader on the face of the planet. I felt so good. That, do you know how much I sold that put
Mustang.
for?
How
I
much
sold
it is?
that put for like 2 cents by the time it hit expiration because I had no fucking idea what I was doing. But I learned so much from that. It got to where in 4 months from that trade, April of the next year. That was December of a previous year. By April of the next year, I was trading pot options and making like $700 to $1,500 a
Hey,
month.
speaking of
Hey,
pot,
hey,
I've
hey,
been
hey,
to
hey, hold on, hold on,
CEC
hold on,
since
hold on,
last week,
Wait,
man.
hold on,
Huh?
get credit. Hey, I don't think you
Go ahead,
guys
John. Go
adequately
ahead.
answered Gary's question about options and stuff like that. I think
Oh, like how to learn? Like
yeah.
I think Denizen is saying like he just learned it like by trial and error.
Yeah, and
And
it
for
Yeah,
me,
depends what kind of
Right.
person you are,
yeah.
unfortunately,
I mean, for
and
me,
how
I
you
can
learn.
tell
I
you.
learn hands on.
but it's almost a
Now,
different language. If you look at the definition
yeah.
and just right, that shit is like a different language.
Yeah, that's why I
Tiny
never got
extras.
into it. Yeah. And I know a lot of people on YouTube keep claiming like they can teach you, and they're just trying to sell you a service in the end of it, and they won't tell you everything. You know what I mean? So when you go on
Yeah.
YouTube, I think there's people that try to tell you, but they won't tell you everything because they want you to get hooked on their service. And otherwise, if you're really a book reader, you have to read the certain books. I don't know how you learned options, John, but there was always these books that were recommended to people that want to learn. And I don't know if people are willing to read
Well,
those books because it's very, very
yeah.
dense,
So I
very thick.
joined a trading group, one of those services, and it was immensely helpful for me. I would
Okay,
say
you have
that
a recommendation? Then yeah, you should give it if you
Yeah, put
have
it in
if
the
you
chat,
know.
Dennis. But
no, so here's the thing. He probably wouldn't want me blasting it out there. That's
okay.
the kind of group I was in.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and so if you think about it, right, that's give you an idea of the mentality. This isn't somebody trying to sell a service. This is a person charging a premium for some real shit.
And so what I would say to Garen is like you have to learn to take the terminology. I mean, just in this 2 paragraphs here. I mean, this is big boy language here. Black-Scholes model,
Investopedia is awesome. Like each
binomial
one of these
model.
words you can't understand, you can also look up in Investopedia. So I used Investopedia as a reference too as I was going.
Right. And so I think you really have to get comfortable with the language that when you're hearing someone talking about it, like Denizen, it's second nature to you. It's like intuitive. That's going to be the best thing to understand all the things he's saying.
I'll
Spot.
tell you how I got there though, by trading options.
Yeah.
Right? So
Now,
instead of
now,
wasting my money on stupid bullshit, I thought of it like an education and an investment. If I can definitely afford $20 a month, $50 a month, $150 a month just learning how to trade. So if that means I put $150 into my trading account every month and I lose it every single month for 6 months in a row, I'm having a great time. I'm learning and I'm motivated because I'm getting a little bit better every time. So if you don't have that attitude, it might not work for you the way it worked for me, you know?
yeah, you're
One more
gonna.
thing before I get out of here, just to clarify some things. Garen, have you ever seen the option chain before?
Oh boy.
Does anyone know the
No, I
option?
haven't.
Yeah, I know, but like,
Yeah.
are we going to that level now, John?
Well, Denizen has been talking pricing.
Yes.
And so he's talking. I just want them to see an option chain.
I watched the tape on option chains.
So if I can show you an option chain, and then I'm going to get out of here. But I think that'll be a good start for you guys. That'll clear up some of the things that seems very very technical, but not very technical. It's just kind of a different language
Okay,
here.
explain this nonsense to us, man. Because like, I mean, for a newbie to look at this shit, it's just like, what the hell?
All right,
Am I
let
Yeah, I
missing?
have no idea what the hell I'm looking at.
So the contract name tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the whole option. This is the underlying asset is NVIDIA. The expiration is this year. It's actually tomorrow, and this is a long call. The strike price is $500.
Wait a
So
minute.
that's why that.
Wait a minute. Well, what
Yeah,
screen?
that's not gonna help him.
Yeah. So a call.
So,
So let's get to a call and a put. What's the difference?
yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good way.
So a call is the right, but not the obligation to buy an underlying asset at a given strike price before the expiration. A put is the right, but not the obligation to sell an underlying asset at a given strike price before the expiration.
Okay.
Did that help you out, HB? If not, I can give you a very simple way of.
Yeah. Well, I kind of know. Yeah, give the more simple explanation.
All right.
Just for the audience.
Yeah.
Just for the
When
audience.
you go to buy a house, right,
Mhm.
and they ask you to put some earnest money down, that is more or less a call on the underlying house because you have the right to buy the house and you paid whatever the earnest money was, but you could back out and not buy the house.
Mhm.
That's effectively an option on the house. You didn't buy the house, but you've secured the right to buy the house. And so with options in stocks, you're buying the right to buy a round lot, 100 shares of a stock. And so when you see this price here, and you guys interrupt me if I'm wrong, when you see this price here, let me go to a more reasonable looking price here.
Yeah, that's 50 cents, by the way, not 500, I think.
Right. So if you see NVIDIA's trading at, let me just go to some closer strike prices to what makes sense.
Yeah, it should be like around 120 right now.
Yeah.
I think it's at 150. I thought I saw it. All right, so you see the NVIDIA. Oh, I'm sorry, you were right. It's trading at 120. And so the strike price, well, where the call? What call? Oh, this is the call price. Let me get to 120. You're right. Sorry about that. 120. Just for a very simple example here. And you want to explain this, Denizen, or GiveCrack?
No, I can't. I'm not gonna try to explain that, man.
Explain what?
This chart for NVIDIA.
Yeah, so this is some of the contracts that are available for sale. And their prices. That's all we're looking at. The expiration date. So the contract name contains all that info. From left to right, there's the asset, the year of expiration in the format of year, month, day, the type of option, which is C for call, and then the numbers are the price. So that's $120, right? I think.
Yeah,
roughly.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that information is also broken down in the chart. You have the last date that someone bought it. So that kind of gives you an indication of the open interest, if it's recent or not. You have your expiration date, which is, again, in the contract name. You have the last price that someone closed that particular chain. So they bought the chain for that price. You have the last bid, and the ask is the last, the option seller. That's where they're setting the current price at. That's the last price that someone who holds the contract is willing to sell it to someone else for. The percent change, I think, is daily. So that green number all the way to the right is how much the option contract has appreciated in the last 24 hours, I think. It depends on the chart you're looking at.
So let's say that you think within the year that Nvidia is going to get up to like $150. Like the price of the stock will be $150. It's at 120 now. So if you think that the stock is going to get to $150, what would you do in that situation?
Well, I'd look at the money contracts to see how much the theta is going to cost me, and the theta is the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would want to have an intrinsic value at expiration that leaves me with a greater profit than the current premium, mostly determined by theta. So if at the money calls are going for 125, I would want to get 120 calls so that I'm in the money at expiration. Does that make sense?
So I'm a
And
little
to use your numbers, if I think it's
right.
going to go to 150, I'm going to want to look for the price around 140 and see how much money I can make.
So here's
okay. So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. So can you find a call for 140 and see how much money you would make off of that?
All right. I'm pulling up a call on Nvidia right now at a strike price or exercise price of 140.
Right.
And I'll let Denizen walk you guys through it. So now remember, Nvidia right now, you can see it on this screen, is trading at 120. So that's a $20 is out of the money by $20. Out of the money means that the option exercise price is above the price that is currently trading at. So it's currently trading at 120. This option exercise price is 140. So that makes it, correct me if I'm wrong, Jensen, that's out of the money, correct?
Yes, sir. By $20.
Right. So I'll let you guys go from there.
So Nvidia is crashing right now, looks like, because these calls are down by 60%. The implied volatility is high, and yet the bid and the ask are pennies. So let's see, expiration date. Oh, we're looking at the wrong expiration date, though. So for some reason, it says March 21st up there in the at the top where the columns are.
Yeah, what I did was I put a long dated call in. Do you want me to put a shorter one in?
No, you want to maybe click expire date to put the longer ones at the top, because we're looking at July 19th of this year right now, expire date.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that's right.
There you go.
Can I sort it? No.
So June of 2025. It looks like it's going to cost us $18. Is that right?
See it? That's what you're referring to right here, right?
Yeah, but I can't see the top of the column anymore. That 1828 is the last price, right?
Yeah, last price then ask.
So if you think about it, I'm essentially, I have to get to 158.28 in order for me to break even at expiration. Does that make sense, HB?
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the 1828 is per share, which means that in order to buy a single contract, I'm going to have to spend $1,800 because they come in 100 share bundles.
Right.
So one out of the money contract all the way in the year, a year from now, I have the potential to lose a few dollars on this. And it's going to cost me $1,800 just to figure it out. So this is not a good trade, right? I'm not even going to look at this twice.
Yeah.
I'm going to want something that's going to give me like 1,000% return in the next 30 days.
Okay. Yeah. So options is a lot more confusing. That's what I'm gathering here.
It's
the thing is that I'll tell you,
man.
I'll tell you what it is, HB. Right? I'm going to make it simpler. everybody in the market knows Nvidia is going to be worth way more than $150 a year from now. That's your
Oh,
problem.
that's the issue. So okay. I get it now. I get it now. And that's why I kind of used Nvidia because I think we all know eventually it's gonna go back up, but it's
Right.
just right now it's just the
It's a
market's doing
meme
what
trade.
right.
Like retailers don't give a shit what a company's like cap is, or they don't do market research. They're like, I paid this much for Nvidia and I made money. I'm willing to continue to pay that much for Nvidia. You know? So the price, when they dilute the shares, it just goes right back up to the original price eventually.
Well, get cracked. What do you think about that?
What do you mean?
Uh,
Specifically.
th- about what he just said about them like splitting the
No,
shares, and it's just
splitting is not real dilution. It's just a psychological thing. So retailers are so dumb. They think it got cheaper. That's the game they play. So
hmm
they play that game because like it's a psychological effect, and big money doesn't care. And that's why I told you like don't worry about. It's just gonna be in a range. It's gonna form a range. It's gonna keep doing that range for a few months
hmm
into November and they'll pop again. But like I said, you could have been in like me in home building stocks. Hey, DHI had earnings. It's up now 11.5% now. And hey, bitch, if you did options change on that, that's why for me, I do strategy. I go look over the whole market. I can teach
right.
you how to detect the whole market with charts. And I can scan everything because I use a scanner and I look for patterns in the candlesticks, and I can show you like, hey, this is gonna pop next, this is gonna pop next. If you combine that with what Denizen is doing with options, you could probably be really rich. I'm
Now
lazy.
what?
I don't do
Hey,
Now
I'll be
options.
right back.
Brad,
Welcome
okay.
Craig,
in,
what type of scanner do
SPG.
you
Welcome.
use?
Huh?
Now what scanners are you using?
I'm using stock charts. You have to pay a membership for, but it's pretty cheap. And I'll teach about that later, dude. So
Okay. Okay.
and I'm gonna specifically tell you how I write my little code to like scan for certain patterns that I watch. Match that up with Denizen, and when Denizen teaches you about options, you can do both my strategy with Denizen's and make a lot more money than both of us combined.
Seriously.
You see
Seriously,
that?
I'm too
That's
lazy
why
to do the
you see,
fundamental work.
this is why people doing shit by themselves can't make big money. If we combine knowledge and you guys are younger, do it, man. Get some fucking lot
Well, this
lizards. I
is
don't
why
give a fuck.
creating real trading groups is a thing for me.
Yes, exactly.
I,
I'm just old, Dennison. I'm just like, man, I'm 45. I'm past the prime. I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore. But I love to help you guys.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
want it because
let's
like
go
I
to the
have all this
basics right quick.
knowledge.
Okay, let's go to the basics right quick. What do you guys recommend when it comes to brokerage accounts?
So
eh,
Cam was talking about Fidelity. I like Fidelity for the boomer aspect, Robinhood for the zoomer aspect because they do overnight trading for some stocks. You know that?
I've heard of Robinhood. I
Yeah.
was actually
So
thinking about taking
if
one.
you can't do futures, at least you can trade overnight with Robinhood on some select stocks like a DGen. So that might work out for you. So open your mind. Like there's lots of options out
Yeah.
there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Robin Hood is,
But don't
Robin
trust
Hood's
Robinhood. Let's put it that way. They'll
yeah,
lock your
yeah,
account.
no,
They won't
yeah,
let you do. So that's why you have to have multiple brokerage accounts because if you
yeah.
can't trade in one place, at least you can have another place to trade.
yeah.
I'd like to answer that question
Mm.
too, Gary, and if that's okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. These
Yeah, keep spitting. I'm
questions,
listening. I'm listening.
they're going to be different for every person, and that doesn't mean don't listen to anything we say and don't ask the questions and don't find guidance because someone who's been through the grinder um, can help you focus on what type of personality it is that you have. But it is going to come down to your personality, what the way that your relationship with money, your relationship with risk, your what kind of patience you have. Trading is
Mm-hmm.
more about the self. Being successful at trading is more about the self than it is about all this other
Exactly.
stuff. Because
Exactly.
markets go up, that's what they do, and when they don't, we're all broke. It's going to come down to what kind of discipline you have, and that's what's going to determine the type of tools that you want, what kind of packages you're looking for from your broker. So, like for me personally, and this is very individual to me, it means nothing to the next trader. I'm a degenerate. I like tools. Thinkorswim is unmatched. That determined my broker. I kind of liked TDA, to be honest. I hate Schwab. I closed my Schwab account. I am now my main account is with Schwab now because I have no choice over these things, and you will not have choice over these things. But the tools that come with Thinkorswim is worth it to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very personality based. It's very, but the end of it though is I'm trying to make sure people have the same mindset, at least the basic mindset. You are willing to lose. You are willing to risk, and you're willing to accept losses and bad days,
Yeah.
and you are willing to be patient. And that's why I always go back to baseball analogies, because it's like, are you gonna swing at every pitch? Nah.
You
There's gonna
you
be
know
days where you don't do shit, and you're gonna be bored out of your mind.
I wanted to comment on Witchy Bishy's comment here. She said, I don't get any of it, not because I can't, but because I refuse to. I like my soul more than money.
It's
And
true. No, that's correct. That's
and
a correct mindset.
it
Yeah,
is.
I had to compromise some of my
The
principles in order to
yeah,
be
the way to
successful.
make money though is like, because you don't care about it anymore. You're at my level. You don't give a shit, because
Yeah.
you're just out here giving knowledge and trying to help other people. I don't need $1 billion. I don't need a yacht. Like I could have, but I'm not going to, because I don't need it. And the thing
Yeah.
is like, I'm not here to be greedy. So I'm giving you this knowledge for free. I'm willing to, but I have to be sure that you're not gonna take my knowledge and just blow all your money away like a lottery winner. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
and I think that's dependent on the person, and I think that is something where you can't really control that. Get get crack. You
Yeah,
can't
but I
really
think
control
I
that.
think we have a good group here, and that's why I
Yeah,
support CT and shit.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just like, I
yeah,
look at him, I'm just like, oh my god, this guy.
yeah, yeah,
We're in the slums. We're in the slums teaching truth.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is
Okay,
not
I want
paradise,
to give
right?
a okay.
So
Since you
true.
guys keep saying that, yeah, that is true. Since you guys keep saying that it depends on like the personality of a person of when it comes to trading and stuff, I want to give you guys a template. Since I'm pretty new to this and I'm mainly trying to save up for, let's say a house. Let's say a house. You're trying to save up for a
Mhm.
house.
Mhm.
Time frame.
What yeah. Let's say 5 years.
What do you have to start with?
I have $10,000.
Mm. Okay, keep going.
Okay, I was trying to see if you could get a small yeah, it can be a small house. I have a startage of $10,000, and I open a brokerage account for, let's say, Robinhood, and let's say maybe another one. I can't think of God, I can't think of another brokerage at
Weeble.
the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, Weevil.
Weeble.
Yeah, where should I go from there? Let's just say that's where I'm starting at, and I divided
What's
it up.
the
Divided it 50. I was gonna say I was gonna divide it up 50-50, 5,000 in one account, 5,000 in another.
fair market value of the house you're looking for in the area where you want to buy?
About probably 100K.
Really? Okay. Um, let me think about that.
So basically, you're trying to scale that 10K to 100K
Within a
in
5 year period. Yeah.
5 years. 5 years.
Honestly, you wouldn't. That's not that. That's
That's
reasonable.
that's
You
reasonable,
could
yeah.
just swing trade SPY without taking much risk and turn 10 into 6 figures in 5 years easily without
he should be able
much
to do
risk.
that. Yeah.
And now when you're saying swing trade, that's basically you're buying the dip, you're holding it until it goes up, you're selling it, and
It's
you're
usually
just
swing trading is usually like it's a rough definition though because many people have different ideas.
right,
But
swing to
I try to do like a week to a month, but
right,
some
Yeah,
right,
people
see, he
like
right.
could do even
Yeah.
more than that because he given himself 5 years to 10x his account. That's
yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
yeah, he could
Yeah, that shouldn't be a
yeah.
problem because like with just trading shares, like if I told Garion like last week, hey, buy the DHI, it's like he's up like let's see. Let's see. Yeah, pull up my chart, HB. You got control,
Okay,
right?
my bad. Yeah, I
What the
got you. I
fuck?
got you.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah. It doesn't whenever you got a chart or you or Denizen, you guys got anything you want me to pull up, just let me know because it doesn't give me a notification. So just let me know that it's in the back and I'll pull it up.
Roger.
Let's see. Let's see. Blah 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 blah. Man. So yeah, you see that like like even before the earnings, I was already telling people to buy like even if you were late, like I told like Grace Thorpe's like stupid stream, late night stream, like Sunday night. I'm like, even if you got in late in the Monday, half the way through, like it's
Yeah.
like, come on, man. You got like 560, you still got made some points. And with options, it's like, yeah, you could extend that. It's like, oh man, look at that.
Now
That's a
now
boring housing stock.
how did you
Welcome in, J Rillo.
how did you know that this stock was gonna go up?
I didn't. I didn't because all I did was look at this. Like it was dropping to this old ass support at that was formed in July 2023. And it had an effect because look at that. The guys here bought it up. Somebody bought it up. Somebody bought it up down here. Why? Why would they do it on a Tuesday before the inflation report comes out on a Thursday, which popped it up over here?
Can you highlight J Rillo's comment?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
I'm mostly focused on long-term investments in swing trading securities. How would I segue that into options trading, and how much would I need to have skin in the game? My first question would be why. If you're doing long-term investments in swing trading securities, why do you want to change what you're doing? Is it not working? Are you not meeting your goals?
Yeah, right.
What's your
exactly.
motivation for getting into options trading? Because it sounds like you got a good thing going where you're at right now, and I would wonder why you want to break something, try to fix something that's not broken. Sorry.
Right, exactly.
And can you highlight Bishy's comment too about restocking her vendors? This goes to what I like to talk about. Monetize everything you do. She knits because she likes to knit. But
hey,
yeah.
you could go on what's that thing like that women go on that website where they sell their knitting?
Etsy.
It doesn't have it have a stock. It has a stock.
Yeah,
I know it does.
Etsy has a stock.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
see,
Yes, let's look at Etsy stock right now. Look at Etsy. Let's look at Etsy. How much
look
money
at
you
Etsy. And see that's the that's where the comment with Witchy Bitchy was saying where she doesn't want to invest because it's like demonic or something. You gotta understand
a lot of Christians think the stock market for some reason is like, oh, it's gambling. It's a symbol
That's
of
how they
Satan.
keep you out of it and go into mutual funds. Yeah.
No, but Witchy
because they
Bitchy,
make you pay the Jew. Oh, sorry. Small hat.
Yeah,
like
they make you pay the
5%
star
to
people.
manage your money.
But the point that I was trying to make is Witchy Bitchy, you're already investing in these companies.
Exactly.
If you got an iPhone, if you're you got a Samsung,
you gotta. Her lifestyle is a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
she probably has an iPhone.
Oh yeah. Sure.
But she lives on a farm, has a greenhouse. You know, like she practices. She actually lives the way she preaches, if that makes sense.
I was
Okay,
gonna say
okay.
she lives very trad.
But even with that perspective, you're still investing in certain companies. Like even if you have a greenhouse, I'm sure that greenhouse company is being traded on the market. So you're still investing in companies. You just don't have any ownership of it. And that's the difference from buying stocks and just buying stuff.
Dude.
Is
I'm in my car right now, and some old black dude was offended. I yelled out Jews.
see,
You
yeah,
see that?
Jesus
You see
Christ,
that?
yeah,
You see that?
Call him the
yeah.
N
You see
word.
that?
Call him the N word.
No, I'm not.
Do
I'm
it.
not.
Say
I
all
know
you
this
got
guy.
black
I know
people.
that he's in the neighborhood. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm
Please
not
don't
gonna
do
mess
that.
up
I
with my
know
neighbors
I'm
right
messing.
here.
Don't do it. I don't want you dying.
But I'm just saying, like, this is why it's like very pervasive, the mentality. They want to keep you like thinking it's gambling and whatever. It is gambling,
Yeah,
obviously, but it's not the
I was
gambling
gonna
like
say.
in a
I was
casino.
gonna say. Not gonna lie, by their logic, freaking getting a job is gambling because you can always just lose your
Yes,
job or
Business is
that's
have
what
gambling.
did it for
Business is
me.
gambling.
That's
Business
what
is
did it for
like
gambling.
me.
getting money in general is gambling. Like if you open your own business, right, and you have some low days or some off days, congratulations, you're losing money. That's gambling.
Yeah, I did everything the safe way. I didn't take risks,
Fucking
and
existing is gambling.
I spent a decade building a career, and it ultimately didn't add up to anything that I wanted or made me happy. And I got fired just as easy as I got hired. And
yeah,
that's when I was like, screw it. If Nancy Pelosi can do it, so can I.
That's what you get for gambling, Denizen. That's what you get
I
for
know,
being in
right?
Satan's system. That's what you get. That's what you get for gambling.
Now, once you see it from the inside, like my relationship with money, most people probably think is unhealthy because I see it's a total scam, and I'm a leech. I invest in nothing. I produce nothing. I make nothing. I speculate on prices and make my living that way. So it's fake money to begin with, and then make fake bets on fake transactions that never even happen. They're all digital. And nothing is created at the end of the day. And yet, depending on where these numbers are, millions of people are employed or unemployed or can't afford enough food or can't make rent. The
Yeah.
list goes on.
The thing is, like, they get you in that grind where you have to spend everything you make, and you can't. And the way that the inflation is a tax, and it's just like, oh man, it's so insidious, right? It's a hidden
yeah,
tax.
Unless
Inflation
you're
is a
rich.
tax unless you're rich, and it's just like that's why Jerome Powell and all of them, they kind of get worried a little bit, but they don't care really because they love inflation because it helps them pay off the debt because the
Yep.
dollar is depreciating. But they can't say that. They want to say like, oh, they're for the social good, they're DEI. They're
I
liars.
love inflation because the crooks hide it in the stock market. So I just sit, behind the wave on a surfboard and make money.
yeah, yeah. I respect the hustle and kick ass at what he does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of it is kind of just changing the perspective of money and how it actually works. Like we're all a part of this system in one way or another. Unless you just completely live off the grid, you don't ever go to the store, unless but it's like even if you go to Walmart or something or buy things off the internet, you're participating in this system. So nobody is more, morally above anybody else than anybody, unless you're just completely living off the system. Then I could say, yeah, that person is a just honest person, like the nomads that just live, city to city, walking
Oh
everywhere.
man, the digital nomads, those guys,
Yeah,
the passport bros, digital nomads. Oh
I think digital nomads are the future. Now that I think about it, because once they
Yeah.
start putting once they start putting chips in people's heads and chips in people's
Oh
hands
my
like they're doing in
god.
Norway,
Oh
hey
my
man,
god.
you're not gonna have a choice. They're gonna say, hey, I just got out of Chicago. hey, I'm gonna my next trip we're gonna head over to LA maybe. They're doing pretty good right now. Excuse me. Eventually stock marketing is gonna be very similar to real life where you just go from one stock to another. And instead of stocks, it's gonna be fucking places and people and countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gonna get
Yeah.
dangerous.
That's
So
why
you,
I'm so pissed off with Australia. You know, they just buckled down and accepted it. Like having drones arrest a pregnant woman over like just walking out of her house for a few seconds. It's
The
like
fuck
this
is
is
going on in
ridiculous.
Australia?
Australia is like a police state. I don't know what the heck's going on. Like
Australia. I was gonna say I thought that was like the norm though. Australia was founded on like it being a prison.
that's yeah,
So
okay,
fucking
yeah.
stupid.
If you come in from that standpoint, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But you know,
Yeah,
we
I was
watch Mad Max or like we think Australians are like, oh yeah, because like every time Australians come over here, they just get super drunk, they get wild as heck. And I'm just like, I think Australians are like that, but apparently they're not at home.
I always thought the
they
average
have,
Australian lived in like the backwoods and they were like the central points of off the grid life. Nah, most of them are liberals that live in cities.
Mm, mm.
they have really, they have like the best news, to me anyway.
Like
There's
Sky
two
News.
Australias, much like
Well,
there's
like
two Americas.
oh well, like I'm talking about like the Sky News Australia.
Yeah, Sky News.
Yeah, Sky News is like the best to me.
I don't even want to
Ah,
get into New Zealand. New Zealand's a whole different beast.
Oh God.
ooh, 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 ooh. Man, hold on a second, you guys. I gotta take a phone call real quick.
All right.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'll be right back though. But you guys, you know, keep talking the stock stuff, or
All
maybe
right.
maybe bring up another chart, and because I think that is really interesting how you kind of knew that this stock was gonna go up just because it kind of met that support.
Yeah,
Yeah, not gonna
because
lie, get cracked. I'm really interested in the method and tools that you use in order to read stocks, on how to read and somewhat predict
yeah,
when stocks are gonna go up and when
yeah,
they're
you
gonna go
don't really know exactly, but once you get to a point where it's like the risk reward looks so good, you're willing to take
Hmm.
the risk, you know? And I
Hmm.
think that's what Denizen does, like for sure. That's what every trader should do, you know?
Yeah, it's about risk management.
Mm-hmm.
And again, my strategy is I sat in front of a screen more than 8 hours a day, uh, just staring at the S&P. So after a certain point, it's like uh, it's like what Cipher says. You don't even see the matrix anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you get used to the way a stock moves, and you get used to how it reacts to news cycles and elections. Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
pattern of how this
There's a
stock
pattern.
moves that's in my head.
So I'm gonna break it down to like there's cycles in markets
Yeah.
and once you get to the advanced level, I'll show you guys how to do cycle analysis where you can analyze because it's basically like it taking mathematics to the next level where it analyzes the chart and it can show you what could be not not really, but it could show you where the optimal times are there to buy and sell, you know. And maybe I'll share some screens in a little while here.
I can't even remember how to create a new window in TDA. It's not even the same version of the software that I learned on
So
anyway. So,
how did Schwab mess it all up? Is it really messed up now?
not that I can tell. I'm still making money.
I'm guarantee I still got my 401k in Schwab.
Okay, Garion, can you go in there and mess around? Can you download TD Ameritrade's like Think and Swim with that?
I mean,
Can
not right
somebody in
now.
the chat, anybody in the chat, remember how to add
I
a
would have to do
monitor
that on my
and
computer. I'm on
Thinkorswim?
my phone right now. I can't do that on my phone.
Oh, you can't do it on a phone. Yeah, that's right. Okay, it's too much. Yeah, once you get on a computer, Gary, and see if you can get Thinkorswim from Schwab. Let's see if that's possible. And
Oh yeah, you can.
and Denizen can walk you through it. So then that'll be
Yeah.
better.
Hey Dennis, do you mind putting your wait? Do you have a Discord or something like that?
Yeah, he does. He does. Let me
Yeah, it's
show
on
you.
my banner.
Okay, then
Uh,
I was going to say, I guess I'll join your Discord and hit you up once I get on my computer.
excellent.
Okay, put it on the chat. I'll put his YouTube on the chat. Put his Cash App on the chat. So yeah, you should pay him for free information.
Yeah, so I have I give away all my knowledge for free, but I do have a premium trading group. It's $5 a month. But anything you get with the premium trading group, I will also give you for free. You don't have to pay me. The difference is if you're in the premium trading group, you can watch me trade live. I post my trades live. Like if I buy anything, I post it in there. So if someone were to go back and read the entire history of my Discord, they could see like several of my portfolios just by writing it all down in a spreadsheet. But if anybody asks me what I'm trading at any given time, I'll tell them for free. The point is not to make money; it's just to like um, give somebody some skin in the game in order to, um, kind of take it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to take you seriously if you can't afford $5 a month for your future. And if you again, if you come to me and ask me anything, I'll answer any question for free. So there's that.
Yeah, I was going to say $5 seems pretty cheap for a trading group. I've seen some
That's
for like 10. I've seen others for like 15. Some of them have that stupid little $30 package deal where they have different tiers depending on the information you want.
If one of my mods, oh, okay, Crack got already took care of everything. That's dope.
Yeah, I was going to say
Um,
he posted all the info in the chat.
yeah, so I paid $25 a month for the one I was in, and it changed my life. So I charge 5 for mine because I don't feel I'm anywhere near as good at what I do as my mentor was. If I surpass my mentor at some point, I might raise the price to around $25 a month. You know what I mean? That's what I base it off of. And
Hey
$5
Dennison,
is something, you know?
hey Dennison, do you recommend any trading groups other than your own?
I recommend trading groups in general, but I would not mention any one specific.
Okay,
And if
yeah.
they're advertised, I would say if you're seeing a guy advertising their trading group, especially on YouTube, don't join it.
Yep, exactly.
The trading group I was in we were both in another guy's trading group, and we started DMing each other about what an idiot he was. That's how I met the guy who taught me how to trade. And when I say how to trade, I learned myself. What he taught me was how to change my mentality so that I could be more profitable with my trades to take it to the next level.
Okay, so join a YouTube trading group, talk about how shit they are at their job, and then join a real trading group and then join a real trading group through networking. Gotcha.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is we had a similar mentality. So he could probably see something in me and I saw something in him and we hit it off and became friends. So like you want to have kind of like what we're doing right now. Exactly. This is what you want to do. people, you want to get your friends who are not idiots, not idiots, right? And who are interested in financial independence, and you all talk with each other about how to make money and reach everybody's goals. And so you check each other on your goals, right? So I keep you accountable, you keep me accountable. We encourage each other, we swap ideas. That's what it's really all about. The fucking give me $5 so you could be a millionaire shit is a scam. Stay away.
Yep.
I can't hear you guys. Hold on, I'll be right back. Can't hear. God damn it. Oh
HB, I
wait.
can hear you, man.
Oh,
We
okay.
can
Now I
hear
can hear you.
you, but we
Uh,
can't. You can't hear us.
yeah. Now I can hear you. I think it just needed
No,
a
it's
second
because
to
we
load
weren't
up.
talking. It's because we weren't talking.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. Guys, don't leave any airspace or any dead. But
Joe
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, let me see
Joe
if I
Cool
get.
says, when I get $5 dead, I'm gonna be rich.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need is
Oh
five
yeah, bro.
dollars.
You can get a pizza for $5.
Yeah, and with this trading stuff, I definitely do see it's like you kind of got to look at the world a lot differently with trading. And I think that's the hard part with a lot of people. They
Yes.
don't they
Yeah,
don't
flipping your mindset like this is quite difficult. But
yeah,
I'm willing to go
yeah.
through it. I'm willing to go through it. I want to
Yeah,
get
you
this. I
have
want to
to,
get this
man.
done.
You gotta
This
go
seems
through it.
fun as hell too.
And that's
I'm
what
getting a lot of
Bitchy is talking
information from
about,
you
by
guys.
the
I
way.
really
Witchy Bishy,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
she's
yeah.
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, because it is it's kind of the thing about stocks, it's realizing that um you have to accept the world for what it is instead of what you want it to be. And I
Right.
think
Right,
I think that's
right.
the biggest mind fuck about it. You know, that you could, you know, like I think this is the biggest thing too. Like even people that try to predict how where the market is going to go, like even though Get Crack is looking at the charts and he's predicting like, okay, I see this pullback, it's probably gonna go back up. I'm looking at this. It really just takes one person with a fucking million shares. All he has to do is sell, and now that stock is gonna go down a whole lot. Like it could be one person that can manipulate the whole market. So even with all the analysis or looking at the charts, that's the risk that you're taking sometimes. It could really just be one person can just, tank a stock, which is kind of crazy to think about. Or it could be a million individual peoples that can make a stock go
Well,
up
the thing is,
like
it's just
GameStop.
like it's mostly just news because like let's look at it. The real reason like the semiconductor stocks, your Nvidia stocks went down was because of ASML's earnings report. It was good, but it wasn't good enough to get new buyers. Then a couple hours later, they tied it in with like, oh, Trump said something, politics said something.
Yeah.
It's like blah blah blah. And then by
Yeah.
the time they wake up, because ASML already reported earnings like yesterday, 2 days ago, overnight, and then it's
Yeah.
like, and then all of a sudden they spin it to be like, oh, there's gonna be
Dude.
sanctions, and then all of a sudden people wake up in the morning, they're idiots, and then they're like, what the heck's going on? Sell, 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 sell. So all the retail idiots kept selling, selling, selling throughout the whole day,
Yeah.
and that's
I
what I bought.
hate sellers.
That's dumb money. That's dumb money right there.
Yeah. That's such a good point, though, about the media. When you start getting good at trading, you realize the financial media lies just as much as the other media.
More
Yeah.
than
They
actually.
make the crap up and
You,
spin it in these ridiculous ways. It's
yeah. Usually, from what I've noticed, is it's usually the complete opposite. So when you hear these financial companies talk about how good this stock is going to be, usually the stock goes down, and when they say how bad it is, usually the stock goes up. it's the funniest thing like that. So I definitely think they're all in on it together, and they're just trying to take your money.
Yep.
But money can be made. That's where you kind of got to be really shrewd and just accept things for what they are. You know, it's gonna you're
Speaking of
gonna
making,
go
I was
ahead, go
going to
ahead.
say, I'm sorry. I was going to say, speaking of making money, do you guys know of any stocks that went up during the barrel hurricane?
Barrel hurricane?
Mm, I didn't
What's
pay
that?
attention. Like,
The one down south.
yeah, but why you think like something would go up? You think like the only thing that would matter would be natural gas if it hit
Yeah.
Louisiana's central hub, but it didn't do that. If the hurricane actually hit Louisiana, natural gas like would be flying right now. It didn't do that.
Speaking of natural gas, if Trump gets elected, there's an inverse natural gas ETF. So the lower the price of natural gas, the higher the price of this ETF, and it has options available. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the options. I don't know. The options just seem a little bit more riskier for me, but I think
A
it
little.
does. Yeah, well, I think it
Options are exponentially,
Yeah, I was
immeasurably
going to say
more
a little.
risky
Got me.
than, yeah, infinitely. That's the word I'm looking for.
just buying regular stocks.
Correct.
Yeah, I was going
Yeah,
to say,
yeah,
can we put a pause? Let's put a pin in options for now, and let's just talk standard stocks.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have to be a hell of a trader to reach your goal with just trading stocks.
You think
You're gonna have
so?
to be
Yeah,
like get cracks level.
yeah, you can be. Yeah, you have to be at my level though. Then yeah, it's possible.
With options, you could just wait for a big, huge dip in the S&P and then go
Right,
long
right,
and then just sit
right,
and wait until you found your house. And then whatever day that is, you can cash out.
right. That's correct.
Oh no, I'm still planning on doing options, but I still do also want to learn a little bit about stocks since I already have stocks at the moment.
All options are is 100 shares at once plus time. So the risk is the time. Once the time runs out, all the money is gone. With shares, that's not a thing.
So
So if
think
you
of it this.
give yourself enough time, go ahead.
Yeah, think of it this way, Garion. You're not betting only on the price. You're betting on the time that the price gets there. Can
Right.
you two-dimensionally bet the price and the time, Garion, correctly? That's where the options game is. And we haven't even talked about volatility that much. And Denizen already brought it up way back when. And it's like we haven't got to the point where price doesn't even matter. It's the volatility that matters. Let's say the volatility goes up, he still makes money, even if the price is going down. This is why options is a very high level game. You can make
I'll
money
scalp
so
the
many.
shit out of that too.
Yeah.
If I get
You can
calls
make
and the price crashes and they start getting worth more money, I'm gonna dump those calls onto that idiot.
So even you can make money where the price goes nowhere too. You could bet that the volatility is low. You
Yeah.
can make money any different way, not just with simple shares where like I think the price is gonna hit here. I'm gonna guess that the price is gonna hit here at this time. I'm gonna guess that the price is going to move up and down in a certain way to this time. That's why this is high level mathematics. This is a derivatives market. This is not the real market. This is the derivatives market actually is very large. It's larger than the overall market. So people actually in options control. So this is like the tail wags the dog type moment where like you're not betting on the dog, you're betting on where the tail is moving to make what the dog is doing. And this is where I don't even want to play that game because this is gamed out by the big guys. And I'm comfortable where I'm at, but if you can try to play it correctly and you have a strategy, you can do very well. Mm-hmm.
Do you look at GitCrack? Do you look at volume in the market cap at all?
No, not really. That's a fundamental thing. Volume, yes, but that's why I want to get like CKJ3 on here, because if he does futures, he probably has an order book. Um and like yeah, that's another level.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So
What the hell are futures? I've never heard of futures.
oh man, yeah, we gotta get CKJ3. He loves futures. He probably can,
And what?
because he
Yeah,
mentioned it.
okay.
He mentioned it on stream. He said like he
Here,
does S&P 500 futures, which is another way to do leverage. And the best thing about futures is you don't have to think like an options guy. You don't have to worry about time. You can think about it like normal stock guy, but you have margin because now one contract is like X, Y, and Z points. So every time the S&P moves up like 1 point, that's like 100x your money, and you're like, okay, you can just play that game, that, and you can play nearly 24 hours a day. You don't need to be like waiting for the market to open. So if the European market does something weird, you can make money off of that with the futures, and it's very nice. If you have a lot of time, that's really great. And you can do commodities now. Now you can do corn. You can do cocoa. Cocoa is up 3,000% since last year, right? And you could have played that. Yeah, let me look at cocoa. Is cocoa still up or is it crashed? Like, if you're in Africa, you should have known they were going to go on strike, and that shit flew. Yeah, Valentine's Day. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, man. Yeah, that thing flew up a lot. Huh. See, from December 2023 to May 2024, that was like 200%. That's not bad. And if you did futures, yeah, that's like next level leveraging. That's probably like thousands of percents up.
Can you guys talk about some of the stocks that you guys are in right now currently?
So this is the ITB I told you about, home building, right? So you shared up on screen. So this is cycle analysis. And you see that purple line going up like a sine wave, going up and down, up and down. So when it was moving down, that wasn't the time to do anything really. Like when the cycle goes down, it doesn't mean like, oh, it's going to go down really. It kind of went sideways, didn't it? And then when it started like climbing up that hump, all of a sudden, that's why I bought it. I didn't know exactly what the news was going to say. I just decided that it was a good time to buy because it hit a low at support in the normal chart. But what the cycles was telling me is like, well, you know what? It's probably gonna have good. This is like sailing a boat. You got wind, right? I think the wind is on my back, so I'm gonna take the chance. You know what I mean?
And this is, you said it's a cycle.
Yeah,
What?
because it's taking all that information, going through algorithms, going through math, and it's going to decide like, hey, this has happened before. This is what Denizen was saying. He spent all his time looking at one stock,
Oh
one
wow,
ticker.
yeah. I'm
This is
looking at it now.
mathematics. This is mathematics doing that for him. This is why what I give you plus what Denizen is giving you, you can take and run with it and do much better than me or him can do. Because I'm telling you that math already can do this. Why I need to have a human wasting their time looking at a chart? If math can do it, AI can do it. Get what I mean? So I'm just giving you a hint right here because, like, I think you young guys, if you took all our knowledge together and someone real smart and had real effort, real dedication, they could make so much more money than any of us could have done in our time.
Well, I'm like a low level Uber trader because I'm opportunistic, and so I have ceilings. Like I won't do futures, but I'm learning futures. so that, you know, when I raise my ceiling, I'm not going to be a complete
Right.
idiot.
Right.
But I think most people, if you find a niche that works, don't mess with that. I mean, if you're some kind of, you know, super genius, like he's saying, like these young kids coming up today, you might be able to be like a level 5 Uber trader where you're just, you know, when you're you just be able to go in and out of the right mind mental state for each one of your types of strategies. And if you can control your mind that way, if you're that kind of a Jedi, yeah, it's easy money. I have a printing machine on my computer, a money printing machine. My money printing machine is slow and old and barely gets by. You know, you could maybe have like a really nice, fast digital one.
So any questions, HB? Anybody, Garion?
Welcome in, Zato.
My bad, y'all. My bad.
Yeah. What's up? So, any questions? I think we covered a lot today, actually. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's I think it's maybe I think it's really good that you guys are talking about this though, because people are interested. And you know, I guess what I guess maybe what do you guys are kind of thinking about where the market is heading now and with the elections? Like which both of your guys' opinion on that?
I have a normalcy bias. I expect things to stay the way they've always been. If I recall, the last election, right before the election, is when, you know, the smart money started getting out. Um, and then after the inauguration, I think things started to turn around. But at that time, the whole Russia thing happened right after that. So then the markets went into turmoil for a few months there, if I recall correctly. Do I have my dates right there?
Man, so many things happened during COVID and after COVID. It's like everything's mixed up in my mind. So, yeah.
Do you guys think that the fact that Trump is almost certainly going to be president would have a stabilizing effect on the market a little bit?
That's really why things went up like on that Monday. Yes, it does. Markets don't care who's president. They just care like who is president. If they can
Shit's gonna stay
determine,
the same.
yeah, if they can determine who is president, they'll game it out. So if they thought Biden was going to win, the markets will adjust like different stocks appropriately for what Biden's policy is and
Yeah.
whatever. But the long term, it doesn't matter. It's the same shit. So long over the long term, that's why the best time to buy stocks is just before the election, because just before the election, stocks will
Yeah.
drop, and then after they know who wins, they'll all rise. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you can sell. Jay Rillo, what are your thoughts on options versus day trading? So I day trade options. If that answers your question, let me know if it does not. And would you guys be willing to form a group to exchange strategies? Yes, I already have. Join my Discord. I think you might already be on my Discord.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anything, we could just join the group that Denizen's already a part of.
Unless anybody here has their own group already, I'm more than willing to join that one. I like this group of people. So,
What's your Discord, Denizen? Can you put it in private chat or whatever?
Somebody.
Jerome Powell posted it in the comments.
Oh,
Should be on there unless it went away already. Yeah.
I don't know. I just got here.
Oh man, that's a problem with these chats. It's like, oh man, it's like everybody spams everything. And it's just like,
Yeah.
and then
What
all of a sudden, all my posts are gone.
what about Zatoic? Do you have any questions in here? Zata Zat
Zatoichi.
Oh yeah, that was a tough one. Zatoichi. Ooh, Zatoichi. You have any? You have two high level traders up here with Denizen and GiveCrack4Me.
Well, I just wanted to say, like, you remember when all that GameStop stuff was going on?
Yeah, GameStop is still good, dude.
I know, but
Yeah.
I got interested in it back then, and I really started researching the stock market, and then I bought, like, I don't know, I think I bought 3 shares at $48 or something, and I ended up making like $300 on it. But I kept telling this guy I work with, I'm like, because he says, oh, he got interested because I was interested, and he bought a share, and then as soon as it went down, he sold it, and then as soon as it went up again, he bought it again, and then as soon as it went up,
bad mindset. There we go. Here we go again.
I kept telling him, don't fucking sell it. Just hold on to it. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. Nope. He wouldn't listen to me. So
trading is not for those people.
You got to
emotion. Those are the people that give you liquidity. You are the one that's going against that type of guy. You want to be on the opposite side with the big money, not with the losing money. Those type of people that do that, those are the big guys that are like going against you, and that's it. You don't.
I
want to
just
be on
dumped
that
my
side.
calls while we were doing this stream after a loss.
How do you do that? Like, can you do that on Robinhood or no? Or you have to have like a broker?
Yeah, you can.
You can?
Yeah, you can do it.
And all that?
Yeah. I wouldn't, though. There's no reason to use Robinhood. Stop using Robinhood.
Well, that's all I have. I mean, I don't know what else I would do.
Apply for an account elsewhere.
Like where?
What are your like short, medium, long-term financial goals?
I don't have any financial goals, man. I bought 44 shares of Tilray at $5.
Wait, you don't have any financial goals? What?
No, here's the thing. I want to make some money, but I don't have a lot of money to play with. You know what I mean? I have like maybe $200 to play with.
Oh,
Yeah,
I recommend getting your money. I recommend getting your money up, man.
Well, how am I going to do that? I'm unemployed because I need a hip replacement.
Don't you have 2 of those? What do you need the one hip for?
I don't know. Karate.
I mean, obviously that's not an ideal situation, but why don't you join the group we're talking about, and we'll all have more extensive conversations about it.
Well, I would like to, but I don't have the Discord. Oh, there. No,
it's on the chat, man.
Oh, it is.
It's in the chat. Somebody. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, man, I don't know how YouTube like does things, but does it delete all my chats?
I don't want to dodge the question. This is not what you should do. This is not advice. I'm just telling you what I would do. With $200, I would legitimately do exactly what I did and open up a Schwab account because it comes with Thinkorswim and that has the best tools. And then I would look for a way to to invest, so to speak, that $200 in an option chain that I thought had a very likely chance of at least breaking even, so that I could learn from the experience.
How do you guys manage your losses? Like, what is there a number where you're like, all right, I'm bleeding too much. I need to get out.
Depends on the person and depends on everything, because maybe you look at a chart and you're willing to, because some stocks move so much that you're like willing to take a 20% hit because you're thinking like, it doesn't matter because it moves 20 up and down 20% anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really, oh yeah, it's tough talk about
If
that
you
without,
remove the
like,
person from the scenario, I would say 1% of your total account in every position that you have for no more than like a 5 or 10% risk at a time. I would say 3% of your account is an extreme risk.
yeah,
I would say
right.
if you're doing 3 or to 5%, that means it's a
Yeah.
sure thing, and you just need to be patient. But again, like once you learn how this stuff works, it changes your relationship with money. So if I had $200 right now, I would risk almost every single penny of it, trying to make 500.
Yeah.
And the next time I came along $200, I would do the same exact thing, because I'm at a skill set where that's going to be the most, as risky as that sounds to the average person, that's the most probable way for me to maximize that $200. Because unless I go back into IT and I'm making $1,000 a week, you know what I mean?
Hmm. So what do you do now? You just trade?
I just trade.
That's awesome.
I monetize where I can, and I will take. I have some clients, old clients that might want IT, and I'll work with them on a one-on-one basis. I'll take. I build custom computers. I work on cars. I try to monetize everything I do, but the majority of my income over the last 5 years, almost, not just a plurality or a majority, but almost all my income from the last 5 years has come just from trading.
That's great.
What type of person do you think shouldn't get into trading?
People who don't like.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. Get correct. Go ahead.
I wasn't talking.
Oh, okay.
No. But I think HB wanted to hear from you first.
Oh, you want to hear from me?
Yeah. Go ahead, get crack. What?
I think I explained most of it, right? It's just like you have to accept losses. You gotta
Yeah,
take risks. It's a business. It's a business like any other.
yeah.
You have to be in the business mentality. That's why John Galt is the same thing. And that's why I always like say, like, even if you're not trading, he has the same mindset.
Crying on the bathroom floor. That's how you manage losses. That's what Touches says.
Yeah, you're not gonna. Oh man, they're like, oh, cry to your woman about your. Never tell your woman about your losses.
Well,
They will come back and bite you on the ass and tell you everything. Like, fucking bitch.
there was a pot stock that it kept going up and down, right? And it would vary between like $6 and $15. And I told this guy I worked with, I was like, yeah, buy this because it keeps going up and down, and like it's predictable. So he bought it and he made $10,000 off of it. I didn't have any money to invest in it, so I made like, I don't know, $100 or something. And then right after that, it dipped down to $5 a share. So I bought 44 shares of it, and then after that, it never broke $5 again.
That's why you gotta read charts. If you don't read the charts correctly, that's when you fuck up. Yeah.
Well, same thing with Carnival. I just took a guy's word for it, like a dummy, and I bought Carnival, and then COVID hit, and then every video I saw after that was people having like massive riots on Carnival cruises, smashing everything up, and it's like, oh, this doesn't help. But I got fucked on everything I bought except for GameStop.
Have you like given up on trading pretty much?
Well, I don't know what to do with it. I mean, I don't even have a bank account anymore.
See, like 2 days ago on Grace Thorpe's stream, she tried to bet. Ben and her tried to give OPC Don. They were gonna do a bet with gold coins, and OPC Don wouldn't buy a gold coin. And you know why? Because his father sold his gold coin at the low. He got scared. He sold gold at the low, probably when Soros came in and screwed over the Bank of England. And that's why we got to talk about psychology here. Psychology matters so much. If you can't, if your psychology is not good, we can't even talk about anything else because you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
You're going to keep being played over and over again. Buy high, sell low, buy high, sell low, again and again.
No,
and
I don't
again.
do that shit. I hold on to whatever I got, and
Yeah, but
I did research it.
yeah, but that's the type of person like who keeps telling you do this and do that, and it's just like, and the
No, I don't
carnival
listen
thing
to
and
it.
whatever. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I'm in cannabis stocks right now. I bought up all this Canadian cannabis, and guess what? The VP loves cannabis. The VP pick like Donald Trump did. Now I'm up like so much on that shit, and I didn't even know it was gonna happen. I just looked at the chart and I said, "That's support. I'm buying," and that's it.
Mm,
I'm done. I have no emotions. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm just gonna say like the risk reward looks good. I'm
right.
taking it.
And
Oh,
as somebody who used to smoke a lot of weed, what I can tell you about Canadian weed, they have the best weed in the world. Canada, by far.
well, it's
Damn.
legal in the whole country.
The problem with Canadian businesses though is the tax is very high. The
Yeah,
taxes
yeah.
in Canada are killing all kinds of businesses. It's so ridiculous with Canada. Like, I don't know what that prime minister Trudeau is a king. Like, basically, he can't get voted out because of their parliamentary politics. Their Labor Party is always going to win, and he's always going to be prime minister. And that's what's so sick, right? It's like we have limits on our presidents, but they can literally have a prime minister forever.
What?
Yes. That's why parliamentary politics is so, like, I don't know. It's
What
such
about
a
that
There's no
other
term
guy,
limits.
Paulivray or whatever? The guy that's always challenging Trudeau. What's his name? Paulivray?
I feel like I'm gonna regret this, but is there a Canadian anywhere out there that can confirm
Yeah,
there's
any
no term limit?
Canadian, come on. Come on here. Tell
Actually,
me about
Zoltan he's Canadian. That dude right there on the screen.
That makes
Wait,
a
is he?
lot of
I didn't know
sense.
that. I was
Yeah,
going to
that
say
makes a lot of sense.
you might get. I was going to say you might summon Gary, man. Gary's Canadian.
Yeah, that makes sense why he's like the not lies guy. Yeah, I wish you would have just said you were Canadian a long time ago. I would have just completely ignored you. That makes a
We would no, we
makes
would
so
have to no HB. We would have to get him back for what happened to Rick Ross, man.
nah. Rick Ross brought that on himself. But yeah, that makes so much more sense that he's Canadian. Wow. Yeah, but Canada, like Canada has by far the best weed, and it's kind of they've always kind of had the best weed out there. I don't know what it is, but yeah, get crack. You're probably taking the right bet with that one, man.
What are
Hey,
penny stocks? What are penny stocks? I don't get that.
Stocks that are worth less than $1.
yeah,
Mm.
that's a
Oh,
simple
well,
definition, though. That's a simple
well,
definition.
that's going to be my Tilray stock pretty soon.
Oh, you're in Tilray. Oh, okay, good. Tilray. Let's see. Look at that chart.
Yeah, that shit's lower than it's ever been, man. It's like last I checked, it was $1.86 a share, and I paid
Well,
$5.
Tilray on the U.S. market, the Nasdaq is 193 right now.
Oh, it went up. I bought it at $5 a share.
Oh yeah, you were in that 2018 time when it was all hyped up. I sold everything I had at that point. Yeah.
Well, they merged with Afria, and I did real
Yeah, I
well
remember
when they
that.
merged.
Afria, yeah.
Yeah, I did well when they merged, but like a dummy, I didn't just say that's enough and cash out. I figured it would go up again when I bought it low, and it never went up again.
Yeah, we gotta learn charts. That's the only way.
Hmm.
You look at the candlesticks, you know when it's gonna keep going down. You know when it's gonna like try to keep going up. That's the only way. Yeah. If you
You
don't
got
look at that,
$200. You don't have to mess with that penny any shit anyway.
And the other thing is, this pisses me off. They never taught us this in school about the stock market, and I think it's something that
no, they don't.
definitely.
I learned it from the small hats, and Blacks confirmed he learned it from the small hats. See, yeah, they don't
No,
teach you useful shit in school.
but
They
I went
taught me how
to.
to draw. Yeah, they taught me how to draw like a turkey on my 5-fingered hand, be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a turkey. That's worthless, useless
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
And then I worked with kids, who were like half my age, and they were telling me that they do teach it in high school now.
They probably I'd yeah, I wouldn't trust that teacher though, honestly.
No. Well, if he knew what he was doing, he wouldn't be a teacher, right?
Yeah, right. That's why I don't know. But he could be just some altruistic teacher that wants to teach kids the market.
Yeah, could be, but
Probably not though. But
You could buy a call on SPY. This is not a good price, by the way, but you could still afford it. Zato,
yeah.
$187 for a 620 strike price. That's the end of November. Now, I don't think necessarily that the stock market will cross that. I don't.
You think it's gonna go up to 620?
I don't. The point is that what it will do is go up to 5,800, and it might even test 6K. And at either one of those points, you'll be profitable if you sell it. Anytime before October.
Oh, October. And what's this? What was it that you said? The first.
It's just a call on the S&P.
Oh.
Yeah, and the S&P. That's can GiveCrack. Can you bring up the S&P, the chart for the S&P? And that's just SPY. So just so people know, what exactly is SPY, or the like when you're looking at the SPY chart, what are you really looking at? Like what are the what does that represent?
It's an ETF, and it's basically a bundle of all the largest companies in America.
Gotcha.
The S&P 500 index, I think, is what it tracks the performance of.
Right. And like the funny thing about the SPY, if you look at the SPY from 20 years ago, it looks completely different than the one today.
What do you mean?
Well, like the companies that are involved in
yes,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This is why most people who don't want to trade or do anything, you just buy SPY, because
yes,
you just allow the big guys to manage you, because they take out the bad companies, they put in the good companies, they keep rotating, and that's why the SPY never goes like really bad down, So
and when it does, don't sell.
Yeah, if it does, don't sell. Yeah.
See, there's your COVID dip right there. You see that?
Yeah. Because you messed up. If you didn't get out here with the big guys, because the big guys were already selling on this last run up, and you didn't get out. Okay, fine. You had to take that hit. You have to buy now.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
But if you guess what though?
Out here, you got effed.
If you held, right, and didn't let the mentality break you, in a few months you're right back where you were before. Now, imagine you went through that already, and the next big event occurs, and you bought at that little candle wick at the bottom there, and like, what was that, May of 2020? And you held all the way until summer of 2022. Now you're balling. I mean, that's a farmhouse, a ranch.
Well, it depends how much you invested, though, right?
If it's options, your $200,
if it's options,
will be worth
story.
6 figures.
Really?
That's why it's good to have Denizen here. I can just tell you straight up by price, candlesticks. But within these charts, there's volatility, there's time.
Yeah.
And Nancy Pelosi does not buy shares only; she buys leaps.
Yeah, do whatever Pelosi does.
My largest trade was a Pelosi trade. I was having a conversation with a coworker about how I needed to start trading because Pelosi was an idiot and she was rich, and if she could do it, I could do it. And the only thing that was holding me back was like some kind of twisted sense of morality and idealism. And within a few months of that, I got fired. And so it was like the perfect opportunity. I told my boss, like, he's like, where do you see yourself in the company in 3 to 5 years? And I was like trading for a living and mostly retired. And so I got fired shortly after I shared that information, obviously.
You told the truth.
I told the truth. Yeah.
Man.
Here's the thing, dude. I went into the meeting, and my only rule was just don't tell him the truth. That was it. Just don't tell. But I couldn't. When I was in front, like this smug face that he had, and the tone of his voice when he was talking to me, I couldn't help it. I just told him the truth.
Yeah.
So I got fired. But what that did was that opened up my free time, right? So all I did was just trade. Right, as a result of that. And I saw NVIDIA had earnings and a split at the same time. And I was like, oh, this is my opportunity. So I bought like maybe like $4,000 worth of options. So I bought $4,000 at once. Then I cashed in a few weeks later. I cashed in some of my SPY options just so I could get more NVIDIA. And I had a total of $8,000. Then I heard Nancy Pelosi went in on the same position I had for $10 million. So I bought another $8,000 worth of the same position. I doubled down, and that 16 turned into 98 in about 28 days.
God damn.
Yeah, there's people that literally only trade what Nancy Pelosi is trading.
How do you find out what she's doing?
She has a Twitter page on Twitter, yeah. And
those tweets are automatically posted into my Discord, by the way.
Yeah.
Just go to Denizen stuff. Yeah, just do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, just go to Denizen's Discord at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people who literally only do what she does, and it's pretty much automatic. Like all her trades and what she's holding is all out there. So yeah, and I mean, I kind of agree with Denizen. Like, if a complete idiot like Nancy Pelosi is making, millions, obviously she knows something that we don't.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, do what they do. Don't do what they say.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Pretty intense.
Yeah, if you don't go to if you're not going to the Discord, then I guess you can go here. Unusual Whales. I posted it up when I was arguing with Imperius and shit. Like, you go to Unusual Whales Politics. It does a best job of collating everything. You can. I
have Unusual Whales posted to the Discord as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, and it's like not all the politicians do well. There's another one with a chart that shows like
the inverse people.
Yeah, so some of these guys are really bad at it, and you go like, oh, this guy's going down all the time. So you can find which politician does well and which one doesn't do well, and that can tell you like where policy is moving to. You can sell like, oh, this asshole is probably trying to pass a bill that the other guys don't want to pass, and this guy's getting screwed over or something like that.
Yeah,
but you can go deep into it if you want.
Yeah, that's why it is somewhat good to know a little bit about politics, because a lot of business, especially in America, is kind of dictated on the politics of what's going on. Like if you just look at a company like Tesla is so wrapped up in politics right now that it's kind of an enigma. You're not really paying for the cars, you're paying for the technology. But even then, with Tesla, it's got such a bad rap, but the stock keeps going up for a reason, and it's because they're the owner is on the right, but his company is on the left, which is
real
kind of
pulled out of California because of
on the topic. Good.
Yeah.
No, they just pulled out of California because of Gavin Newsom just passed some new law.
On the topic of Tesla, 175 has been a price to buy. for I don't know how many years since I've been trading. 175 has been a safe place to buy Tesla. That tells you something about the patterns.
Yeah, yeah, and GiveCrack, he's really, that's one of the things that he always says is that there is a lot of patterns in what goes on in the market. I don't know if it's manipulated that way or if it's just the algorithm, or is it something else? I don't know what it is. I think though you have to kind of accept that's just what it is and kind of follow the trends.
So SPY just broke support and it's plummeting. And just take note that I said earlier that I sold and dumped all my calls.
Yep.
It broke up
So
a little
you
there. I think.
Okay.
so you probably should have held it.
No,
Oh,
no, I got out before it got disastrous.
oh! You said it broke support.
Yeah, I took
Oh,
a.
okay.
Yeah, you're Morgan.
I took
Everybody's
a.
Morgan now. Yeah. Everything Morgan. Yeah. Hold up. I gotta get my connection up here.
I downloaded this thing from my phone. It's called Stock Trainer, and it uses real market information, but you use fake money, and you just see what would have happened if you had been right or wrong.
Yeah, Thinkorswim comes with with a paper trading.
Yeah.
And I think they give you like $100,000.
Yeah.
And
what do you guys think about that? Like doing trading with fake money for a couple months before you get into it, which
That's
real
okay,
money.
but you don't have the psychology because it's not real money. You
right.
don't have that.
Yeah, right. You don't care.
Right. It's a great way to learn the platform, the interface.
Yeah.
Familiarize yourself with the tools, the different, all the powerful stuff you can do. But as far as teaching you trading, nah.
No, it's just to see what would have happened, basically.
You don't know anything about trading until you wake up in the morning
and realize
and
it broke.
You made $55,000 overnight.
Dude, if I could do even a 15th of that, I'd be happy.
And I made 6 figures off that trade. I did not sell at 55,000. I invested more.
Wow.
Yeah. Man.
Well, please help me take this 200 to the moon.
Okay, well.
Here's the thing, brother. If we group together and share our knowledge, whether you learn to trade or not, we're going to be able to help each other achieve our goals. It's just how it works,
I'm not a complete noob to it, but there's a lot that I don't know. So I know that you guys are going to help me. I don't know how I can help you other than by you explaining it to me, you learn what you're talking about better,
Because, we're not a bunch of idiots here, and everybody brings something to the table, even if it's a certain mindset or perspective, and it's just the way that it works. We're stronger together. Hashtag no socialism, I'm sorry.
Apes together strong, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't touch that with a 10-foot pole either at the time. I watched the whole thing happen, and I covered it on what was that alternative to Twitter that everybody switched to for a while? It ran like shit.
The Trump one. Are you talking about?
No, the other one.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, because I was banned from Twitter for like the 3rd or 4th time for telling the truth. But yeah, I was covering that when we were all rooting for it, and that major hedge fund got taken out by a bunch of autism on Reddit. Like the retail traders took out a hedge fund, broke their knees.
Well, I remember following this guy on Reddit, and he would talk about it every single morning, and he would keep you posted all during the day what was happening with GameStop. And I was following it like, you know, I was following the second coming of Jesus, and I bought a couple shares cheap, and I made, you know, $300, but it was like I said, you know, it was up and down, and like you had to hang on to it. You had to have diamond hands, like they say.
Can you like explain the GameStop craze thing? Like,
Well,
how did that even happen?
there was a guy named Roaring Kitty, and he bought a shitload of it.
Gatito.
Huh?
Gatito.
Yeah. He bought a shitload of GameStop when it was real cheap, and then he basically made millions off of it. And a lot of people were making their money off of it going up and down just by using calls and puts and things like that. And one guy, he was making his entire living off of GameStop.
Yeah, but it just seems like such a shit company.
Well, it was, but everybody just pumped into it, you know?
Yeah. I had puts on GameStop. I was waiting for its bankruptcy.
Oh.
Well, how'd that work out?
Oh, they expired worthless, I think.
Yeah, here's a good question. What happens, let's say I have Tilray, right? And it goes down to 0.0000. Then what?
What if you have what?
Tilray. It's the marijuana stock that I was talking about earlier. If it goes down to 0, then what happens?
I don't think a stock can go down to 0.
So
that would have to like happen violently in order for it not to be halted or delisted.
Oh,
yeah.
So you just lose the money and that's it, and it's gone.
Yeah. I mean, if it gets delisted from the exchange and never gets listed again, I think you'd probably get paid out some pennies or something by a brokerage. I think is what would happen.
Oh,
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would get to that point. You shouldn't be even in a stock that gets to that.
You shouldn't be in Tilray, in my personal opinion.
Well, no, it was great for a while, and then
No, there's great opportunities if you go scanning for them. There's great opportunities everywhere, but that's not going to last. That moves around based upon.
I know that now.
Yeah, that's why I only trade SPY. If America is winning, SPY is winning. You can make 7% return, which is decent. That's decent.
Yeah.
Just by owning SPY shares. If you're swinging option contracts, you're making, 10,000% a year.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Denizen, this is the problem here. This guy wants to make a big money on just pure price action, and that's why he's digging through these penny stocks.
Right.
You're talking a different game where you can take that little penance, that little money, and do the same thing with SPY, which is guaranteed not to go 0. And that's the problem. These guys are not at that level yet. They're still thinking like the only way I can make it rich is buying shit companies like GameStop, Tilray, blah blah blah.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go. Yeah.
He's playing the advanced monkey game is the problem. He's making it the most difficult. That the high volume, high stress, volatility trading. This is where that's an apex predator. You're entry level. You're making it harder and more stressful on yourself than you need to.
Yeah. That's
a good way to plug Denizen's Discord. Like that's why I need people to come in here with different perspectives because I already made my money. I don't need to play this dumbass game. It's funny if I just blow a few thousand like doing GameStop, but that's nothing to me. But there's people out here that have no money, no capital, and they got to do a different way of making money. And that's why we need futures traders, options traders, get everyone on here, tell them what to do. I just going to talk about charts. That's just me, and everyone else can do what they want,
I think too, the first thing you got to be able to do is save money, like actual money, because nobody's, I mean, there's a possibility, but it's such a low chance that you're going to be able to take $200 and flip it to $20,000. But over, a couple years, you could save up a little bit of money here and there, maybe once every check or however you get money. You put away $100 here and there, $200 here and there, and you can grow your savings account, or just add that to your brokerage account, and now you can kind of leverage that money. So part of it is just being able to save money, and I think a lot of people, that's what attracts them to those penny stocks, is like it's the gamble of it, where I don't really have to save any money to make some money, but really you're just going to lose all of that money.
Mhm.
They're not penny stocks for nothing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be better to like slow it down a little bit. It's extremely difficult, but not impossible to turn that 200 into 400.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
And then
What's my financial goals? That's my goal. Turn 200 into 400. That's my current goal.
right, and you can do that with options. It's going to be hard though, and it's going to require patience and a mental state that most people don't have, and more often than not, you're going to have to lose the 200 a few times first.
Yeah, I know.
So if it's your last 200 in the world, it's a Hail Mary.
Oh, it's my last 200 in the stock market. I mean, I don't have any more money that I can put into it, but that's what's already into it. So I consider it, my stock market money. It's not my money as such.
Yeah. What is SPY trading at right now?
SPY's 550 and it's falling. Let's see,
Still
553.
Yeah. If I were you, I'd just get another $300 and buy SPY and hold it.
Yeah.
Well, what's your time frame you're looking at?
Who, me?
200 to 400 in what time frame?
I don't know. Well, how long do you think it'll take? I mean,
you
About to say a year.
gotta tell me.
as long as it takes.
You gotta tell me, what's this money for? You don't want the money just to have money, right?
Well, I need money.
So how much do you need by when?
I don't, I mean, I could use $10,000 in the next 6 months, but that's not realistic.
No, it's not. So can you think of something more realistic?
Yeah, 400 in the next 6 months.
Okay, yeah, I can show you how to do that. You're gonna want to do it with options, though. You can't. In order to double your money in SPY, you'd have to wait, a couple of years.
Yeah, well, I'm willing to sit on it. I don't give a shit. Like I said, it's my stock market money. It's not something that I'm using or need to use immediately. So,
hey, Denizen, not Laz wants a one-on-one with you, crash course.
I mean, technically $0, man. I do it all the time.
Yeah. All right.
If you want, right now, I give access to the trading group for $5 a month. But anything that's in the trading group, if you ask me, I'll give to you for free. The trading group is just kind of like it's a central resource, and I post everything there live, so you don't have to ask me. You're getting informed. I have to put effort into making it every day. That's where the $5 a month comes from.
Yeah, teaching ain't free, man. It's tough to teach people stuff, man. For real.
Yeah.
Teaching. Portia, you think Portia gets a free payment for teaching people how to do algebra? No way.
Yeah.
He said in the chat, he said he'll give you a hand job for it.
So at that point, I will not teach you.
Yeah.
I will pay you $5 a month to stay away from me.
Get correct. Highlight the comment. Highlight the comment.
I
Why
can't
do
do.
you
I
why do you want
comment.
to highlight the
Wait,
hand
wait,
job
wait.
comment? What?
Because that's fucking funny. Because that's fucking funny as hell.
You know
Is it
what?
on his chat? It's not on our chat, right? Is it our chat?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's right there.
I highlighted the hand job comment for Gary, and he
For
Oh my
Gary,
God!
thank
Come
you,
on,
Gary.
Gary and
that's
oh God damn you.
Now I'm
Gary.
fibbing. I'm fibbing.
Gary.
Oh, see,
Well, I
now I'm
mean,
excited because Spy is getting wrecked right now. So this, to me,
Yeah, dude.
this is
where you want to
excellent.
That
buy.
you see
Yeah,
that? You see
I
that?
can't.
It broke through that support. You see that? And then it's gonna go down to 550 now because now it has to go to the next one. See? So
And this is where
Yeah,
you
and if
want
it
to.
gets
This is
down
where you want
to
to buy.
540, oh man,
Is this where you?
please,
Is this where you want to buy at? Let's say
not yet.
it's like 10,000 to invest in
This is where you
SPY.
want to sell and be inputs. You want to already have been inputs when it broke 560.
Mhm. Oh, okay. You're talking about options. Okay, okay. Now, what about you, Get Crack? If you're just a retail trader and you wanted to buy SPY right now,
no, I was already out at the top, bro, because like
Yeah,
it's like the top was like at 550 and above, so you would have been selling like you see that range it was
yeah,
making. It look at it's making its range, and you see the secondary indicators already telling me down here in the middle panel it's going down, down, down. That means it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. You see these big red bars? That tells me
yeah,
sellers are coming in. Sellers are coming in. Whoever's keeping this thing up are a bunch of losers that are gonna
yeah.
get wrecked. And they got wrecked yesterday, and they're getting wrecked again today, and they're going all see. You just look at candles, man. This is
Do
a
you
big
think?
candle. This is a big candle. This is a big candle. This is a
Do
big
you think
candle.
it could go down to that first dip right there?
It will have to at least try to make support at this previous high back in
Yeah,
June.
yeah,
And the thing about it is like you have to look at quarters because the big money
yeah,
is made in quarters. Big money moves in quarters every 3 months. January to March, March to June, June to whatever. And the S&P 5 I mean the S&P 500 is mostly driven by JP Morgan. JP Morgan has options all in the last month of those quarters. And that dictates the moves before and after to the next months.
yeah,
Okay? So
yeah,
they don't think like you guys. They don't think like, oh man, I'm gonna make a scalp over here. I'm gonna make a scalp. They don't care about that. You're a bunch of roaches to them. You're
yeah,
just the roaches that are getting crushed by their steamroller.
true.
Yep.
yeah. I hope you guys are listening because Get Crack and Denizen are saying a lot of really good tips, and I'm definitely soaking it all in. I
I've been
don't want to.
taking
I
notes
don't
on
want to.
sheets of daggum tissue paper, man.
Yeah, yeah,
No, we'll
yeah.
go
Dude,
over this again and again because you know we have to
I
be
got 4
teaching.
napkins full, man. Keep going.
No, teaching is all about repetition. If we can drill it
Yeah,
into your heads again and again, you'll eventually get it, you know. But that's what takes the money. That's why Denizen has to get paid, you know, because it's
yeah,
like it's painful, but teaching is all about that, you know.
Mm.
yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you guys up here for too long. I know you guys probably have some high end hookers to go sleep with.
No,
So
no, man, I'm not. And you're like, oh, I do a blow, like a line every morning. I used to do
Yeah,
stuff like that. I
you might
used
gotta
to.
you might gotta do some trading. Yeah, you might have to do some trading off of a hooker's ass or something. But
I'm too old now, man. I gotta watch my heart, bro. It's like I'm not gonna do that kind of dangerous shit no more. Fuck that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Plus the coke is kind of trash nowadays too.
It
So
is. I used to have a good
yeah,
guy, and once he was getting out of the business, he was going legit. It's like, nah, man, I'm not gonna mess with anybody that do
yeah.
stuff. Nah, I
Isn't
can't trust
that
their
is,
crap.
isn't that the worst when your drug dealer goes straight? It's like what the hell, man? Like what's wrong? What's
That never
wrong?
happened to me.
God damn it, Rodney, you didn't care about your kids then, but now you give a fuck. What
All
the hell?
right, now you care? Like Jesus Christ, man! Oh, you found Jesus? Oh man, get out of here!
Oh, yeah. You're gonna be
found
back on the
Christ.
streets in a week, and then you're gonna.
No, I
What
actually know a lot of guys that they went from selling to stocks, man, which is kind of crazy to think about. A lot of guys went into stocks, man. It's kind of
It's like, hey man, this weed on the side, it ain't cutting it no more. But I started trading on the market, and all of a sudden, I'm making bank.
yeah,
I was able to get my
yeah.
grandma a new house.
Yeah, I may or may not have been in some discords that did both. They'll send you some weed and give you some stock tips. I'm like, God damn.
That's what
Imagine going to your financial advisor, and he was like, okay, before we start going into it, I got this new strain called Rainbow Fortitude.
Nah, he's probably got a line on his desk, if anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do stock traders do more coke or do they do more weed? I think coke
Definitely,
might be the.
definitely
Coke.
coke. Definitely
It has to
coke.
be stimulants, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
coke. It's definitely
Yeah, I'm
coke.
guessing
Okay,
it's
Raymond.
either coke or Adderall. I snort Adderall pills or something.
Yeah,
I
Adderall.
do
You snort it.
cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Adderall.
drug.
The problem with Adderall though, it like some people, like I mean maybe it's most people, they get horny, so they start jerking off at the same time.
yeah.
That's a problem. I didn't know that was a
Yeah.
problem.
I don't think it's a
Yeah, Adderall
problem
makes-
per se.
What happens if
Yeah.
you give Adderall to a monkey?
I probably start jerking off.
He starts
Yeah.
trading in the S&P and jerking off.
Yeah, it's either, he might rip your face off. I was gonna say he might rip your face off.
Yeah, I know. That lady.
Like even in that movie Wolf of Wall Street, like they were doing lines that whole movie, man.
Oh yeah, and Quaaludes and everything.
Yeah, they were just railing it. But I think it is that type of personality though that you know, you kind of have to have that type of personality to trade stocks. It's like that where your Denizen is honestly kind of he's not the norm. GiveCrack is more the norm of traders. Like his personality is more like the really good traders I know, they're kind of like GiveCrack more, where they're just, it's like, did he just hit a line? But no, that's just his personality. He's just, you know.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Yeah.
So you're saying if someone smokes pot, they can't be a good trader?
Not really. I don't think so. Honestly, I really don't.
Speaking of all the trading, how much of this stuff isn't going to end up getting taxed? That's what I want to know.
What do you mean? How much? All of it
You
gets
say-
taxed, buddy. Once you realize it.
Hey. So this is what a futures guy can come in. Futures get taxed differently. 60% is long term. 30% is short term. So if you make any money short term, long term, it doesn't matter how long you hold a position. Automatically, that gain is turned into 60% long and 30% short. That's the beauty of futures trading. Did you know that? So
I did.
you can
No, I
make a
didn't-
lot
no,
of
I
money
did
with
not.
futures trading because 60% of it turns into long-term trading. That's why people go into futures. That's another pro tip. So if we get CKJ3 and he can teach you how to do futures, get him on here.
So what's
Yeah,
the difference between a future and calls and puts?
Oh man, ooh, yeah, that's another show probably.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say not gonna lie. You guys have already been talking for about 2 hours 30 minutes now. We're about to hit the 2:30 mark.
Yeah. Let's we're gonna end this live here, but I do want to get everybody's final words. Let me put the hold on a second.
Put the music on.
Yeah.
Hey,
we're gonna-
CKJ3 put up a comment. See, that's a good comment.
Can
You
I
went with a prop firm and went with your contractor and self-direct IRA. See, he knows how to do with the tax game. See, that's why we have to bring other people's knowledge in. How do you avoid
Yeah.
taxes? That's another topic we will discuss later.
can I put my Cash App in the chat so people can donate to my fund?
Hell yeah.
Of course.
Help our homie here learn how to trade.
I only have
Yeah.
$20.
Donate to a fellow man's education right here, right now.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna hit up the Cash App. Any Cash Apps I got today, I'm gonna send over to Zeta.
No way.
Oh, man.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
What he's not telling you is he didn't get any cash apps today.
I still appreciate the effort.
I probably didn't.
I appreciate it anyway. I'm not a greedy motherfucker.
All right, let me get final words. We're gonna try to do these at least once a week, where we talk about these things with the market, stocks, kind of drilling it in people's heads. The things that we need to talk about. CKJ, I definitely want you to hit the link too. So let's get the final words. Denizen, final words for tonight. I think your mic is fucking up.
Yeah,
He said buy low, sell high.
I think his trading like got caught up with him, like all the resources.
Yeah. Let me get Denizen out of here. Hold on. Yeah, your mic is fucking up, Denizen. I don't know what happened. He usually has a really nice mic. Pause.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
No, it
That
must be the
sounded- that
connection.
sounded
It's
great.
like, that's the problem with it. You run StreamYards too long, it starts sucking up all your RAM, and then it just like destroys everything because your mic is connected to a driver, right? And
Yeah.
I think that's what John's problem is too, man. It's killing it. It's killing all the resources.
Yeah, it is weird. John's mic is.
We
always
have to talk
messing
about
up, man.
those one like the whole CEO thing later on, and I think I could just like I'm gonna get mad, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
yeah.
real mad.
Yeah. No, John's definitely gonna cover that one. But final words, get crack. And
yeah, so I put
just
up the thing on chat. I put up the book. Now there's a book about psychology of trading, so it's like that's my final word.
Oh,
right there.
you know what? I've actually read that book. That's the book
That's
that
the book.
really.
That's the
Yeah.
book.
I honestly, trading in the zone. Anybody who's interested in trading, read that book before you get into trading, because
Yes.
I actually read that book, and mind you, I'm not even somebody that likes to read, but I actually read that book.
It's an easy
And
read. It's a
very easy read. If you don't even like reading, there's an audiobook on YouTube too. But I actually read the book. But the psychology of it, once you can master that, you won't feel any type of way about the market. And that's how you're supposed to feel. Wins or losses, it's all the same,
Right.
But really it's the psychology of it and understanding that part of it. So yeah, that trading in the zone, and that's every single trader. If you look them up, they're gonna probably suggest that book.
Oh, I've heard of that book.
Yeah, so definitely get that. But so yeah, final words. Get
That's
cracked.
it,
Was
man.
that-
That's all I gotta say. Read that book. That's it, man. That's all I gotta say.
All right, man. All right, get cracked. All right, and now Zaitachi. Final words.
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me up here, and I appreciate everything you guys said and did today, because I learned a lot. And thank you, Denizen, for the offer that he made, and I'll be back.
Yeah.
I got
Appreciate you, man.
I think I have the mindset, like it's not like I'm losing thousands at this point or whatever. So I can I can deal with it for now.
We all gotta start somewhere, man.
Yeah.
All right, Zatachi, you have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Appreciate everybody coming to this trading show. It's been an excellent show. We have the trading wizards of Denizen and GiveCrack4Me. Hopefully you guys, I want to keep these shows a little short, just so people can go back and rewatch and take your notes, try to soak in all the information. But we'll definitely have more of these trading financial shows, because at the end of the day, we're all Americans here. Well, for the most part, But we live in a capitalistic society, and I think it's better to benefit from it than to be always on the losing end. So I appreciate everybody. You guys have a great rest of your day. And as always, God bless America and God bless the chat. Thank you guys.